And here we are, match number 14 of 20 here for the promotional tournament into the PEL Phase 3. 14th match though, Cameron, that leaves just a few more after this for tomorrow, essentially to be played out. But Erangel, we haven't been on it today. 3 games of Miramar played out in the books. Now on to the OG.
Yeah, good playing too. Part of me, the sadistic part of me wants to see another military-based circle. But the reasonable part of me doesn't. It's
I honestly, I feel like our teams would be completely fine never seeing a military circle for the rest of this tournament. But some of them actually enjoyed them.
We had so many military circles in NA this season, this phase specifically. So, you know, we got to even this up a little bit. EU needs a little more milli.
Well, they certainly did get it yesterday. We'll see if it's a repeat here today as the plane kicks everyone out of the cargo hold. Just a few more seconds on the board until that Phase 1 pop will effectuate itself. And as far as things are concerned, loot locations looking fairly standard for these teams. No one really dropping down to Sosnovka, though. Unity not going to be going there. Actually, Unity going to be very much so on a shift of strategy, not going to Nova whatsoever. Instead, going to be taking a very, very wide spread on the East Coast. And for this circle, it's not a terrible position, but it does keep that river in play, Cameron, which always kind of throws a wrench in plans.
Yeah, it does. We'll see if it becomes incredibly impactful. It won't be unless it's dead center of the second circle. That'll be like a huge burden for a lot of teams. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Cube picked up super early because of that. But that being said, I've actually seen Cube hasn't been that impactful that much recently because everyone knows how strong of a position it is. If they can avoid it, they will avoid it. So I don't know, that may cause some sort of like circular thing to happen where, you know, people will then stop taking it and then anyway.
Yeah, I mean, for positioning, it's a good compound when you have these types of circles, but that's a very good observation, Cameron. Over the last maybe 6 to 8 months or so, Cube has become less effective in picking up kills because teams, even if they aren't sure, even if they have no scout, they're just going to assume that Cube is taken by its positional priority alone.
Looking at Zoekt and Naam here. Relatively good final game. They didn't win out on it as much as I think we kind of expected to be because the hard shift off of it, as well as the what was the approach of Reciprocity?
Yes, Reciprocity on the hillside, yeah.
Page did a good job by himself, but we'll see if they can't pick up that sort of momentum and carry it into this game. They are in a good spot to rotate out of this. I mean, they're in Pachinki, so that automatically gives them a really good leg up on the rotations, but the center of the circle is really close to Pachinki as well.
We've got Tornado Energy over here in Milta. This has been their static drop location throughout almost the entirety of the tournament, have not been contested, and have not really felt any pressure making rotations into these more neutral circles on the Erangel maps. Certainly, those Sosnovka Island circles have been a little bit devastating for this Tornado Energy squad, but they're going to be looking to have a fairly standard early game as many other teams start to at least position themselves. A few shots coming out around the map, and Reciprocity finds themselves in Yasnaya. Again, this is a wide open area for them. No one even contesting this, and that pretty much leaves them to a very comfortable early game.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you see Yasnaya shared, but there aren't that many places to loot up close to Yasnaya. And generally, Reciprocity have actually had pretty good loot cycles as well as rotations out of it. I think Skoom has already left. He's already way off into what I don't know if this is a super public call-out, but what I've heard called No Car Park.
Okay.
Which is like the area just southwest of Yasnaya. I think Skoom actually taught me that when he was on when he was on Liquid.
Well, there's the bridge that leads over from east to west, and then there's the gas station, and then the Harry Potter, and then south of that, there's 2 pretty impactful compounds that you can scout out. But Skoom is going to be making a shift back up towards the northern side of things, taking that Yasnaya bridge from east to west as GamerLegion begins on their own rotation here. Just nearing up, I believe, over near Pachinki a little bit, spotting out one of the members of No Tag Team. Give It is going to quickly be departing off of this hillside. Back into the vehicle he goes. The Dacia going to be zooming off of the western side of that hill. Desperado's on a rotation of their own as they approach towards the centralized area of the map. This Pachinki city could draw at least a few other claimants.
We'll see if anyone goes and picks up that crate. No Tag Give It may actually be able to see it. I'm a little surprised of Zoekt and Naam's rotation, though. They're actually not going towards center. I was expecting them to go basically past where this place is, but they're actually going to go just right of center, holding down a different compound. It's certainly not a terrible decision by any means. is just catching me for a little bit of a loop.
Are we calling this Toffee's compound still? Is this still Toffee's compound? That Zoekt and Naam has rolled into. Toffees, if you're out there, I remember. But yes,
he's trying to force it. It's up to you whether you want to enable him or not.
Yeah, exactly right. But honestly, I don't mind the rotation from Zoekt and Naam, kind of pushing themselves out of that false sense of security inside of Pachinki and then into one of the more powerful compounds still in the centralized area of the map. It's not a bad play.
Yeah, no, and I believe they're actually doing a split, and so you can do a couple of good splits off that position as well. And I think they actually got beat to the compound that I was expecting them to try and go to by another team. But here comes Desperados. They're actually taking this garage compound that's just on the north of Pachinki, which this could be a really good compound to use. In fact, if they even recognize that Zoekt and Naam are just above them, they could use the height advantage of that cliffside to try and deal some heavy damage to them. But that earlier in the game may be really bad, but Nemereth, spray down to Simsy, actually is able to land the shot before Simsy falls behind the wall. He's pushing forward to try and get the finish with the grenades and see if Beşiktaş is going to be able to return fire, while Quickmath also getting to an engagement with Reciprocity.
Nade comes in from Nemereth, going to be able to flush out Simsy from the game. Beşiktaş working with one less now in the fourth game of the day. 16 teams, though, still remaining as Alyag going to be taking, ooh, and that's a flush onto his teammate with the vehicle. Definitely going to be a mistake coming out of Milta. That tornado energy will be feeling throughout the rest of this game. Beşiktaş, though, you can see them rolling into the compound, trying to utilize this line of sight, this elevated position to possibly spot out the likes of PG-18, who just wiped out Simsy from the Ruins area. Could see PG-18 roll into Ruins or back to the Yellow Shacks from whence they came, but they definitely do have a few options here now.
Reciprocity trying to disengage, or at least Skoom is trying to disengage from Quickmath. Driving right past and right into 7.
Ooh, and the car is on fire, and in a fiery explosion, a blaze of glory, Skoom exits out of this game very early. Reciprocity going to be playing off of a back foot, Cameron, at just the 7-minute mark of this game.
Don't know about glory. It was certainly a blaze, by all means, but 7 were either hiding very, very well.
It was glorious for 7.
It was glorious for 7 for sure. I'm curious on what Shiv and Hexator are going to do now, because they're down to 2. Reciprocity have had a really good event so far by any means, but they're going to basically want to try and stop the bleeding for this round so far.
They will be trying to do that. Desperados now at least extending their reach on the northern side of Pachinki. Fake can be rolling up to the church, trying to possibly get an elevated advantage onto GamerLegion off to the west in that solo compound that rides to the southwest of Pachinki. AVANGAR going to be on their own rotation, making far rotations is the name of the game for this squad, and vehicles is what they're going to need, possibly even those jerry cans, if they are trying to make their way as far as they did in the previous game of Miramar. Unity able to roll up here just off to the east of Zoekt, that lovely compound, the J compound, which used to be a highly contested part of the map, Cameron, but is now going to be wide open for Unity.
They're taking, you say that, they're taking a lot of shots by Oko from Ferrari Breachers. Not getting too much out of it, and his teammates aren't there to get a full-on engage. They wouldn't want to go for a full bomb onto that compound either, unless they get 1 or probably wanting 2 knocks before they do that. Quickmath here are going to be taking Cube compound. It's definitely a good setup at this time. The engagement with Reciprocity got them a kill, got them a nice point, but it did force them to basically lose timing on trying to get a good position in center. But this is definitely a good pickup, and if the circle shifts up towards them, they're going to be glad that they grabbed it.
Yeah, that's the thing. If they see that phase 2 shift here in about 5 seconds time go up to the north, they will be wiping their brow, but we will have to wait and see how that plays out.
And even if it doesn't shift towards them, it's going to give them a couple of good rotations around. And in this circle specifically, they actually have some good rotations going through South George, around Georgia Pole Mountain. You can see how much area AVANGAR have coming in from the west side, because everyone's just trying to go for center. But this is going to put Pachinki in the dead center of the map. Not just Pachinki, but the fields surrounding it.
I don't want to see a lot of teams try to bomb into Pachinki. We see so many teams try to do that just to stake their claim to a higher position in the game, but then they end up getting obliterated with the team presence as shots come out. AVANGAR able to find now one onto Tomo from Beşiktaş. Another member of Beşiktaş goes down and out. 2 powerful squads in this lobby are going to be left with 2 remaining members at just shy of the 10-minute mark of this game. AVANGAR, they pick it up and then they quickly depart and move on with their kill.
Yeah, Reciprocity and Beşiktaş both being really, really damaged. This is kind of a gimme for everyone else to really try and climb up that lead. But the big gap in points wasn't from the first 2. It was actually from like the top 5. So the teams at the bottom still can't look that in the kill feed and say, oh, hey, this is really good for us. No, they also got to push through Vitality and push through GamerLegion, who just come off of a really strong win. And them holding down this compound can be very, very powerful. Whenever there's a field in play, such as the Pachinki field, any compound on a certain side of it could be a coin flip. But nonetheless, it's still a really good option to take early on in the game. And if they need to, they can just rotate out of it if you see a hard shift on Circle 3. The big problem is what's going to happen in Circle 5.
Yeah, it's honestly a position I haven't seen many comp teams take up on the southern side of Pachinki. As Unity going to be under fire here, going to be losing one. Orange Snow knocked out of the Dacia. Blast on trying to retreat in the UAS as he continues to get tagged down. Eros able to find a few connections onto Beşiktaş's Ultra. One of the 2 remaining members of this squad as the Dacia spins out, able to correct their course and continue on. Again, Ultra and Lux, they've got a lot of pressure on their shoulders. As Shiv going to be popping off in the kill feed. Ferrari Breach now combating against the likes of Unity. Edgikaz going to be bleeding down and out as Rezu gets knocked down. Tizer unable to find the nice M416 connections. 2v2 scenario, reset back into the blue zone, trying to save his fallen teammate Recrant from an ultimate untimely ending here in this match. Washout trying to find the flank, though, will be pushing up. Nade's going to be prepped, could find pay dirt if he ends up landing it and cooking it properly, but it's not going to be cooked, and it is going to be washed out on the receiving end of a significant portion of damage.
I mean, that nade did deal a lot of damage to that vehicle, but good job on Tizerin to expect the play. Wait, was that his own nade?
That definitely was his own nade.
Yeah, that was.
There was no way that Ferrari Breach was able to get that off.
He has got huge gonads if he dropped the nade, still stood on it to take the shot before leaving. That is...
Yeah.
Either that or just a really good stop clock on his wrist.
AVANGAR rolling in here off to the east, and then Quickmath starting to at least depart near the Watertown area. In a wide split, they will be at least sending 2-0 Duo over to Razak to possibly hold on to that location. You can see just how far Reciprocity has been put back after losing Scoom and Rafi so early on. One of the first times that we've seen Reciprocity in the blue zone. But it is going to be Shiv with a spray coming out from the Scar, not able to find the ultimate connections onto Oko that he needed. But he does send Oko at least flying in that Dacia. Almost found the explosion on it and could possibly be in a 1v1 situation, but no. Shiv going to be departing, didn't find what he wanted there, and will be moving into the safe zone.
I gotta say, I really like the way that Reciprocity are playing right now. They're very unlikely going to be able to win this game, but instead of after losing 2 people, they say, let's just play it safe and slow. No, it's like, let's just go for the kills while we have the opportunity
They're playing pub games.
Exactly.
That's what they're doing.
Getting placement points is incredibly unreliable, especially if you lost those 2 players by being out in the blue right now. Like, they can't rely on position because they're not even in the next circle, much less the current one.
No, again, we've talked about it. Reciprocity at the top of the leaderboards comfortably, but also some of the strongest players from the EU region that were picked from other teams to sort of form this Reciprocity squad. So they've got the individual skill. They've got the team synergy. Maybe just play it. Have a little bit of fun, like a pub game, like we kind of saw them. Well, unfortunately, they lost that Miramar game, but they played it like you would a pub where you're confident over your opponent. Pachinki getting a little bit crowded. GamerLegion rolling in off to the east. Desperado still hold on to the north, and 7 pinches in onto PG-18.
A good grab by PG-18. With the circle shift, still keeping Pachinki in the dead center. I know we both agree that you don't want to go for the city so early on, but at this point, you're running out of options. Right now, though, Northern Lights having to back away from a compound held by no tag. Well, they're going to want to back this way anyway because this is away from the edge, and this could actually be a really bad for no tag just down in the south. Going to have to push through this sort of line of scrimmage held by Northern Lights.
This hillside is such a massive counter position, not just to the compound held by no tag, but pretty much to everything down here to the south. We have seen teams up on this hill where Northern Lights are absolutely ripped through squads, and the headshot connection will be coming out for the Mini 14 of Quizzy as he does take a little bit of return fire. 28 damage applied for the members of no tag. Rolling back up the hill, Shiv now just a solo player for Reciprocity. They do not want to go out in 16th place. They definitely want to be able to at least pick up some more points here before doing so, and Shiv will be making that attempt right now. 1 kill to his name, but he's not going to be able to do it. Out goes Reciprocity, your first place team in 16th place position in our second to last game of the day.
Still, this shouldn't bother them too much.
No.
They're performing very, very well. It's unreasonable to expect to win every single game, every single round of PUBG. So they're just going to take this one as a nice little breather before they enter the final game. And honestly, seeing Pachinki in the middle of the circle, if there's a game that you can get out of not playing, it would be this one.
Yeah, if it continues to go down towards Pachinki and more teams go down there.
At this point, I think it will.
I mean, Cameron, we could even possibly see that circle where the fields to the east are going to be the eastern side of one of the remaining circles. Pachinki holds on to the west, and then that final phase causes the exodus of squads, and it's just a bloodbath. That's what we've seen in the past when Pachinki does get implicated into the late game, and we possibly could see it at least starting to set itself up right now.
This is interesting by NoTag. They were able to rotate away from Northern Lights' hilltop control over them. But while the rest stop on the hill, Givitz is going to send it towards the city, and I actually really like it. They're leaving him there in case Pachinki stays the dead center, because trying to enter a city too late into the game is almost impossible, but they're not committing the full squad.
It's going to be a good insurance policy for them as Riddle makes the 4-man push up the hillside into a Unity squad that has had some casualties here in this game. Tizzer going to be spotted out. Spray from Hannibro's M416 will be applying some damage, but not able to find the knock as he now finds himself under fire. Both teams big time missing their shots, but Clib is able to find it. The M24 headshot taking down Blaston.
And we saw the circle shifted. There's a hard shift down south, which is neither good nor bad for either of these two squads fighting Riddle and Unity. But you can see Unity are actually trying to back off of this. They want to get to the circle. I don't know if they have any vehicles ready to go take it, so they're going to have to go on foot, which means they need to start leaving now if they don't want to be late to the party.
Potato Hill going to be held by two squads. Still going to be Riddle and Unity. Unity pulling off to the western side of it. Riddle still trying to figure out what lies in front of them. But again, this circle, it's not going to have a lot of play area in it. Fields, Fields, Fields are the name of this circle, as Vex ultimately going to be sprayed down in quick fashion by Yannick of PG-18. Able to find the knock in the flush. Very, very nice.
PG-18 with a nice little corner of Pachinki. But we saw that it's only like just a single center shift away from being outside of the late game. And we got GL, GamerLegion, with like the actual corner that is the center of this circle. So PG-18, they're going to want to get a number of kills on all these teams in the city, but nothing's guaranteed for them.
The two remaining members of Unity are able to spot out that Riddle squad rolling in off of the east and able to find one knock onto Clib, the member with the M24, who found the connections onto Blaston of Unity just about a minute ago. But the trades come out. Zinsen with the SLR onto Rekrin as we see more and more teams funneling in here to Pachinki, which could, based off of statistics, Cameron, shift away from this northwestern corner, and we could see that mass exodus come into effect.
Vitality's coming in onto this fight, heard the engagement, saw the kill feed, put 2 and 2 together and know that they have a huge advantage on this, excluding the fact that they're coming in from the low ground. But they've been fighting very, very well when they're packed together, and they can just put themselves head-to-head, gun v gun.
I don't think Riddle's going to expect this type of rotation coming from outside of the zone from the north. Vitality could be in a position to absolutely pick up the squad elimination on top of Riddle if they get the peaks. Could be spotting out one. The spray comes in. That's going to be Nasus Please able to drop down Zanson, but Hannibro with quick flick back onto Jazz as Nasus Please goes down as well. The third-party engagement. Riddle Esports gets eliminated in 15th place position, but what does Vitality lose in the process?
I don't think they haven't lost anyone just yet. That nade didn't hit anyone down. Unity, of course, know that Vitality are there. When I say Unity, I mean specifically Tizzling, because he's the only one left. But look at Tornado Energy just on the south, pushing up onto them. Back into Pachinki. These teams are getting closer and closer together. 7 took a casualty, and Quickmath actually put themselves in between both sides, which, depending on how they play, it could be good or bad. Francario is trying to toss a couple grenades into the bottom floor to burn out these players, while Buster and Crab from the north try and make some sort of entrance. But you can see the smokes primed onto Crab, getting ready to move to wherever they have to while the circle is closing.
Cameron, viewers at home, when that clock in the top right corner of your screen hits 19 minutes, you are possibly going to see a massive graveyard, which is pretty much Pachinki at this stage in the game. That's when the next shift will be coming out. Phase 5 almost in full effect here in about 20 seconds time as Beşiktaş, very hurt in the early game, try to at least rotate off of this southwestern corner on the backside of NoTag team.
So I was talking about NoTag. They didn't commit everyone in, and taking that hilltop is actually perfect for this circle. But Beşiktaş could ruin them. They are crawling in slow and quietly while NoTag are trying to get kills, trying to get damage elsewhere into the circle. And now the shift does pull off of it. It actually keeps a large chunk of Pachinki inside. So that last shift just threw us for a full loop.
Threw you for a loop. This was the circle that I was expecting, Cameron. Those fields going to be on the eastern side of this circle. Pachinki now going to be on the west. And we're going to see teams really hurt by their decisions over the next few minutes as Vitality continues to take casualties. Nasus Please got knocked again and will be flushed out of the game. Tornado Energy looking to wipe out Vitality on the northeastern side of this circle. Both teams trying to at least play some type of position as the pressure comes out. Shots going to be connecting onto Melman, dropping him down to 16 HP. Example going to be bleeding out around the right-hand side of the tree. Melman will continue to try to find the frags onto Jazza, but the grenades are being prepped. Beşiktaş Esports going to be exiting out very early on. 13th place position as more and more more pressure continues to be laid down on top of Melman. Jazz's nade does 6 damage. It's not going to be enough, but this one could hit Paydirt as Melman completely retreats back off of that. Vitality going to be eliminated by 2 different squads. Example, and Zoekt and Naam going to be finding the elimination.
Ooh, Deep goes for a refrag, and he's going to find it. 2 of his teammates are down, the only 2 that are in the server. He's going to be able to get a revive onto 1, but the blue closing in. I don't think Quizzy's going to get picked up. It's going to leave them just 2, and they have a long distance to travel. They have a couple of vehicles to do so. Back here in Pachinki, no one's really had to move so far. Everyone who was inside the city was already inside where this next circle was.
We just saw a crab running on fire.
Yeah, well, 7's having to be rerouted around. Quickmath was a good position to try and push them out, but 7, they want to get closer and closer to the edge of Pachinki so they can have a little bit of advantage when they finally need to leave. Quickmath trying to go for the kills to burn them out.
Desperado's in a very interesting position. I would like to see the map hopefully soon so we can spot that out as No Tag Team continues to at least look at AVANGAR and put some pressure in that direction. You can see now Desperados are very spread. 2 members very far off in the distance. Can't even see their tags, but 2 members very close, holding on to the Harry Potter just off of this Pachinki Hill down to the southeast. The pressure continues to be applied, though, from AVANGAR as they make their approach, trying to get inside of the circle, but too much pressure is coming back right in their direction. Gibbet is able to find the first knock onto Azraven, and now the flush coming out from Eris.
Yeah, Eris is giving a little bit of revenge to AVANGAR from the very first game. He's in a good position to completely stop their push 100%. The blue is already on top of these boys.
And it's only a matter of time. The pressure continues to at least mount in this direction. Arrows able to find 51 damage connection onto Toke of AVANGAR as Inductive. Going to be getting knocked down. Jupezic with the Mini 14 headshot finds a beautiful shot. And now AVANGAR with just Token Maxes are on their feet and severely damaged. Will be trying to make this push. Blue Zone still going to be on their back. They've got about 20 meters to go, but those 20 meters are going to feel like a kilometer, especially with No Tag Team spraying down.
I'm surprised that no one's been finding an angle onto No Tag from Pachinki, but they are playing on the low ground with that hill. They're actually playing this position very, very well, and there goes AVANGAR. Really not much that they could have done. They needed to have hit some immediate downing shots onto No Tag very, very early, but now No Tag having to push into the field as the ending position of this game. It's going to be rough for them. Desperado's trying to close in that split. It's not going to work out for them. They lost Halzera.
Phase 6 shift continues to just be deadly, though. Desperado is going to be holding on to the eastern barn. Tornado Energy trying to work their way off of this eastern angle from outside of zone number 6 as the action starts to at least pop off inside of Pachinki. Zoekt and Naam going to be trading back between 7 Esports as Desperado's Coldamenta going to be finding his first frag of the game onto Eris. Down south, that's a long-range shot, at least from where they're currently positioned, and a very, very spread 2-2 split currently for Desperados.
It was actually Eros trying to bomb in onto that tower. That Coldamenta was able to pick him up, so it actually wasn't that difficult. Arrow's trying to open something up for No Tag, but now that he's out, use their only vehicle. There's not a lot that they can do. Pachinki, though, PG-18, trying to finish off 7. Quickmath is able to route. You can see the minimap down below them, but it's just Crab now, creating a smoke tunnel for him to run through, able to get into yet another building. He's just barely not inside the circle, though.
I mean, listen, even if you are inside of the circle, if you're in Pachinki, it is likely not going to end up going well for you. No Tag Team, Jupezic going to be rotating around this eastern side of Pachinki, just outside of the city, near the sewage ditch. Riding along a little bit of defilade, completely open to the eastern side of things as the shots start to come in. Coldamenta from the Harry Potter will be finding at least a few connections, putting Jupezic behind the tree and pretty much in a pinch position, continuing to try to take the peaks, possibly even going to continue to see pre-fires come out of Coldamenta as he's got nothing to lose from this Harry Potter. No angles going to be presented onto him.
Crab actually gets a knock onto Mice from Quickmath. Duo Juho's holding the angle while Insolenso goes for the revive. Good team play out by the Quickmath boys. But they're going to still have to push through PG-18 and GamerLegion no matter if they can finish this engagement with 7. Tornado Energy, though, on the opposite side, actually able to find a compound just north of Desperados and dealing a lot of damage to the teams trying to leave Pachinki. Honestly, don't even bother trying to leave Pachinki right now. Just get the kills of the other teams in Pachinki. That is the more reliable way to get points.
Or just stay undetected if you're trying to just get into placement.
Good luck with that.
8 teams remaining, 20 players alive. Nimmerith going to be bombing out some nades, just trying to flush out his opponents and then take a different route through this, picking up another nade. Possibly bags were full. Why not throw one out? Try to see if you hit some pay dirt and then move forward. Shots continue to come out. No Tag Teams. Jupezic, the solo player, will be spotted out. Coldamenta finally able to find the shots with the SKS. But now the blue zone on the back of teams here in Pachinki. Crab is going to be forced out of Grandma's house. That damage is going to be significant, and he is taking it not just from the blue zone, but also from the members of PG-18. Into the first floor of the building, going to be in the bathroom, shut the door, reset this, get the meds off, and then try to stay alive.
Dropping a smoke as well to stop any push from PG-18 because they know he's in there. If you wanted to avoid the damage from the blue, he should have left a lot earlier. But nonetheless, they're all stuck inside Pachinki still because the circle is only moving further and further away from them. Nemrith running around trying to deal heavy damage. Quickmath saw the nade come out, knows where he is. Maybe tempted to jump through that window, but doesn't want to take any blue damage. And the glass is still there, I believe, and so it's only going to give another audio cue.
Here in Pachinki, it's pretty much going to be a fight for the trenches. No one is going to be wanting to cross into the fields. The trench down to the south is going to be the only one in play. And PG-18 is trying to stick the res onto Yannick right now. Will likely be able to get it around the corner of where Crab is currently sitting because he can't risk pushing out aggressively. But now Diaz inside of the kitchen could have the angle through the door. If he does end up spraying down, he could find the connections. But Crab is also set up in a good position to spot him out. Spray comes through the door. Good for Diaz, but not good for Diaz as he does get knocked down. Unfortunately, though, they were able to keep their team alive. And the res will be effectuated.
PG-18 are playing this quick, but another knock. It's just Nemrith left and the blue is closing in. No way to get a revive onto Diaz. And Nemrith is way too far away to get a revive on Yannick. He's going to have to play as a solo. Quickmath actually able to turn all this around. This is a solo player of 7 to really ruin this for PG-18. But GamerLegion still with the best position of control. A nice nade comes out onto Yannick to finish that kill off. Just Nemrith proning below to Ojuho. While Tornado Energy, the circle finally moves away from them. They bring their vehicles into the field.
And he stays alive, but with only one vehicle, how many lines of sight can be blocked? How much mobile cover will that present to this player of that team? So Naam has been able to make their way into one of the trenches. Tornado Energy under fire, but Quickmath quickly going to be knocked out of the game as Juho goes out in 6th place position. 5 teams remaining, 14 players alive, but it's not going to be easier just because we have less teams. The fields of Pachinki are going to be the landscape for the final moments of this game at the 26-minute and 40-second mark. The exodus out of Pachinki still continues. Nemrith able to find the nice frag on Bjorn, almost finds the flush as well as Zoekt and Naam keeps 4 alive on the northern side of the trenches, still outside of the blue zone, inside of the safety of phase number 7. Looking pretty good as far as everyone else is concerned.
What nice nade from Goldamenta is going to finish off Bjorn and knock Macindark on the south side of GamerLegion.
And then the follow-up.
He's actually going for the push.
Zoekt and Naam, they say, hey, we heard some action. We saw some kills. Why not try to steal them away as the nades continue to rain down from the north. Zoekt and Naam also looking over at Tornado Energy off to the northeast on the opposite end of the circle. T-Bone and the rest of the squad looking to have a big performance here. They've been trying to find it so far today and have not really been lucky in that regard. But this could be the change. This could be the turn in the tides for the likes of Zoekt and Naam as they continue on.
Circle shifted away from the building that the rest of Desperados are in, and they're going to have to bomb out. Goldamenta gets one more on the hamster, finishes off the kill on the Macindark. But now Zoekt and Naam, they heard that action happening, and they still have more nades to throw.
Big rotation coming in from the other 2 members of this Desperado squad that were holding onto the barns. They're going to be reuniting with Goldamenta. The fact that they're able to even drive across the fields almost unscathed is beyond me. But the shots now come out as T-Bone spots out one, able to get significant damage onto that player Fake. Drop down to about 20 to 30% HP, but grenades will be flying in both directions. That's going to be Tornado Energy, Alyeg an example, and as well as Melman, trying to at least apply the pressure onto Zoekt and Naam in the ditch.
Zoekt and Naam, they have a little bit of corner of the next circle. But Tornado Energy, if they're using these smokes, but there are small divots and there are bushes to hide in. If they can actually get themselves in the circle with a decent enough spread, they could steal this away from Zoekt and Naam. But they're certainly lacking in hard cover. Desperados, though, they're on the south side of the ditch. Example drops Ivol. They should have seen that in the kill feed. Another nade comes through, goes a little too far. I want to see Desperados go aggressive on this, though.
That nade could hit Paige. It's going to be... Oh, what is up with grenades today, Cameron?
I told you they're nerfed.
Something happened. Even more come in, though. Not able to find that fatal damage, but definitely with... Oh, there it is. Calvin Klein from Desperados is able to find this as Tornado Energy back off. I'm the nade god here from the southern trench, and now the pressure continues to be applied to Zoekt and Naam. They're trying to play this, though, very methodically. They continue to suffer knock after knock after knock, and Tornado Energy has now secured the dominant position in this circle.
Yeah, they use this heavily to their advantage. Melman actually has a vehicle that he can use and move as cover as well. They're still not towards the center, but the smokes are coming out from Zoekt and Naam, and I'm assuming Desperados as well, just trying to leave this area, but Desperados are holding the angle, not letting Zoekt and Naam retreat.
Some players trying to climb up the cliffs, others hiding on top of that drainage ditch, trying to get the better angles. Calvin Klein going to be knocked down to the blue zone. Fake goes out to Example, and Fake will be flushed out by the blue zone. Kills going over to Tornado Energy. Goldamenta should have been spotted there, but no, he's going to get the drop. He picks up the flush onto Vascu. One more member of Zoekt and Naam going to be flushed down and out, and I don't think anyone knows where Goldamenta's exact location is. Grenades finally finding their connections as the Desperados will be eliminated. 2 teams alive, Zoekt and Naam versus Tornado Energy, and Cameron, you called it. Tornado Energy is just taking absolute control of this game.
there's only, I think, one left standing on Ival?
2v1. As it stands right now, Ival's teammate Paige can be bleeding out very fast. Ival with 0 kills, and he's not going to be able to pick it up. Huge win going over to Tornado Energy in the 14th game of the tournament.
Definitely a nice grab for them. And they had to make some risky maneuvers in order to make it work, but with a minute, Desperados went to the south end of the ditch and was able to put so much, I guess, longitude, whatever, north-south pressure onto Zoekt and Naam. They had a huge opportunity, and they took it to take control of the circle. They were proning in the field. That's never a comfortable position to be in, but it ended up working out for them.
Yeah, no one had a high ground position on top of Tornado Energy, and so based off of that, plus the vehicular cover that they were able to maneuver into that field, the fact that they got vehicles as far center as they did, that was the win condition for Tornado Energy. All they had to do was apply the pressure on the Zoekt and Naam like they did. I believe they had 2 or 3 knocks onto them over the course of that maybe last 2-phase engagement, and that was impactful. It got them the victory.
You also want to point out how impactful Desperado's split was earlier on. When it was almost kind of a good thing for them that they weren't successfully able to regroup all of them. They lost a player and it left just Coldamenta in that tower, but it was Coldamenta being able to make that clockwise push up initially into the southern ditch there that allowed the rest of his team to leave those barns and join him to be able to deal so much pressure to Zoekt and Naam. They only got third. They didn't win that engagement, but it was still definitely a really good play by them.
And they also got a lot of kills. I mean, Coldamenta was
Coldamenta especially. He was doing a real good job in that position even before the field became the center point of the map.
Exactly. Eros tried to bomb him, got the kill on that, and then the members of No Tag Team, Jupezic, got knocked out by Coldamenta, and then he was able to find that frag in the flush onto Zoekt and Naam on the wrap. I mean, the fact that Zoekt and Naam missed that opportunity on Coldamenta was huge. Imagine if they had Vascu up in that final engagement.
I don't know. I still think Tornado Energy would have taken it.
Me too.
At that point, because it just all fell into their lap at that. Zoekt and Naam, they were just so distracted, and they had to be. It wasn't like a misplay to be so engaged with Desperados. But let's hear it from the boys themselves, Tornado Energy.